First of all, check out your Unit 7 plan. It has been updated. So we're not here yesterday. You may not have seen all this. Second of all, I don't know if you need notes for this or not, but I have the perfect plan for the actual transportation of the future. Here we go. Regarding petroleum, like a gasoline car, first and foremost, gasoline is all we got now in our country. On a large scale, for most of us, if you're going to be just an average person, we're probably going to stick with gasoline for at least one more car. But you don't want a big honking car. And you can make a lot of improvements in your efficiency by how you drive. The whole gas brake thing, horrible. You know, if you're on the freeway, fast is the most efficient. Most of our cars have a sweet spot around 65 to 75.
Yeah, well, we're just like telling us about how she has a really careful track of the mileage of the car test, and she said it should feel like about like 70 something. It's just like the wrong song.
Yep. Typically with Tacoma. My sweet spot for the truck, I think, is 68 miles per hour. But if I get into like 75 or whatever, my efficiency goes down like more than 20%, I think, more than 50%. Like it's a huge dip. Yeah.
I was driving with my dad on the Autobahn, and for me, we were going like 40 kilometers an hour. And watch the guy take it down.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. But I'll bet it felt great. Yeah.
Best way to save gas on the freeway, get as close as you can to a semi-truck.
I know what people say about that.
I swear to God it works. I drive my
I know, but hold on a minute. I gotta like clarify. It does not work if you can see the wheels on the truck. Like,
yeah, no, you gotta get right up there.
Really close.
Yeah, but when you're there, you're saving money.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's you can do it like
right.
you're on a bike. Like you're on a bike and you go behind someone else on a bike and you're doing like 20. You can feel it like totally.
You get the whole closer anyway.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Isn't there some proposed legislation? I'm not sure if it was statewide or nationwide to lower the speed limits across like all the freeways for environmental reasons and
I don't know.
Reliance on performance.
I did not know that. I could see the advantages. I'm sure we all could. Although the funny thing is, for many of our current consumer fleet, the speed limit is the sweet spot by no coincidence. Most cars made in the last decade are dialed for optimum efficiency at 65.
Yeah, it must have been years ago.
Yeah. Something else you can do, you can get about 10% of your mileage back by making sure that your gas cap lid doesn't have any cracks in the O-ring. You lose about 10% of your efficiency when you put racks on top or on the back of your car. So the whole thing about like bike racks and boxes and luggage cages and all that stuff, like 10% of your mileage just out the door every day you're driving with them. Most of us carry unnecessary weight. Every 100 pounds of extra weight is about a 2% efficiency dip. So, like 100 pounds, that seems like a lot. But if you're carrying like a backup jack or like your emergency kit with your like water and blankets or whatever, like there you go. Yeah, I mean back seat with 100 pounds. But anyway, enough about gasoline. Small, lightweight, efficient gasoline cars are probably your cheapest, efficient option. If money's not so much of a problem, go with diesel. It pays for itself in the long run, but you got to put the money in up front. Diesels cost a little more. You make the money back in maintenance, and then you make more money back because they're 25% more efficient across the board. Your whatever car you got, if you find a diesel version, it's a quarter more efficient. Yeah.
What's the size of gas station?
In the United States, nearly 100. It's very surprisingly high. In California, it's surprisingly low.
Oh, okay.
Because in California, we have exceptionally high air quality standards, and our national gasoline refinery standards are low for diesel. So most of our country's diesel cannot be burned by cars in California, so there's not a market for it because of our stringent air quality.
So then what would it be in California? Like,
Am I off I would guess 20% order, maybe? Okay.
I can't remember like Nevada that theoretically has really low emission standards, like with really shitty diesel from Nevada and right in California.
You'll run out of gas. So I don't think anybody's going to care about that one thing. Anyway. But diesel also has its downside. If you actually can, and you're going to live in a big city only, go with natural gas. Because that is like a free car. Like, there's just no commuter cost. It's nickel and dime, chump change.
What companies make natural gas cars?
Well, A, most of them. B, they rarely bring them to the U.S. C, you can make almost any car into a natural gas car. I believe the engine is the same.
So you just have to convert your fuel that takes it to the top?
Yeah, so you need a different like fuel filter, you need an extra tank that usually goes in the trunk, so you have to do a conversion for the other separate mechanics, but I believe anybody who uses natural gas. Engine the same or not? Basically the same. Maybe
That sounds pretty cheap. I don't have to, if you're using the same engine block, you basically just switch the fuel filter and like toss tank and.
like if you're gonna live in the Bay Area where you have an average 1 hour commute from one city to another, natural gas is a no-brainer because you commute for less than a quarter of the price of anybody else in the freeway. Plus it's a low-emission vehicle, so you get to go in carpool lane. For people who live in urban areas and are commuting between or within their urban area, natural gas is a no-brainer right now today. Like the savings are astronomical. It blows your mind. It's like you're driving a Vespa, but you got 4 seats.
And then with, I mean, they carry less fuel than like a gasoline car, right? But don't you make up for that by having the increased mileage?
Right. So your range is higher, and your cost per unit of range is far lower, but your net volume of carried mileage, if it were comparable to gasoline mileage, is lower.
What's the maintenance life on a natural gas car?
I don't know.
So the only reason that a lot more people in the U.S. don't drive is because they just don't have the money to.
Well, it's kind of chicken or eggs. You really can't have the cars because there's not a lot of places to go get the natural gas. But there's no benefit in putting the natural gas out there if nobody has the cars. So chicken or egg, I don't know. But when Thomas had to drive to Idaho or Wyoming, he had to like map out and like call and figure out who would have it open at which hours and like drive in the middle of the night so he could go get natural gas. Like the route was like this, and he had to go like doing all these like random stops in weird places to get his gas. There's not a lot of infrastructure for it. If we're starting from scratch, like in Finlandia of the future, like sure, natural gas in everybody's house. Why not?
Couldn't you, but people have natural gas in their house now, right?
Right, so you spend about $1,500
That's it?
for this machine that's like a compressor for air, like a carpenter or painter would use.
Yeah.
And that compresses your natural gas to the right pressure to fill your tank with liquefied gas. So, $1,500, like you're going to have to wait almost a year to make that back in mileage savings. But if you commute a long distance, it's shorter. Save that time. For somebody like Thomas, he doesn't drive barely at all. Plus he's in a rental, so that option's out. He has to go to this place and put it. But you'll notice all this fossil fuel stuff is short range. I'm trying to get off fossil fuels as soon as possible. Whenever we can, we should switch to some version of electric. Everything should be hybrid. You can hybridize planes, boats, trains. The cool thing about hybrids is once we get the technology a little bit beyond where it is now, so not current hybrid, But next hybrid, anytime your wheels are spinning and you want the car to slow down, you can slow it down by using the spinning to charge a battery. And then when you got electricity, what can you do with electricity? On a train or on an airplane, you can use it for the ventilation system. On a car, you can use it for electrical consumption in the ride, or you can have a backup electric motor for some purpose. The hybrid concept should be everywhere. The details are going to keep changing. We're just in hybrid 1.0 right now.
Could not be hybridized any of these other like solars,
right?
Like it makes a hybrid diesel car.
Right. In Europe, they already have hybrid turbo diesels. Volkswagen makes a hybrid turbo diesel Jetta, I believe. If it's not Volkswagen, it's somebody.
Don't they pretty much put a turbo in almost every diesel car now?
Right.
You just don't get the kind of reliability.
Right. And well, the flip side is it's really easy to make turbos. Like turbos just blowers.
Yeah.
So for the cost of a new car, you can be like, hey, well, would you like more efficiency and more mileage and more torque and more speed and more horsepower and it costs $300 extra? Like, it's a no-brainer. Sorry, did I ignore you? Did you have your hand up?
No.
Hydrogen is going to be a great way to store that electricity when we have abundant electricity. And we can talk about Iceland later today. We'll talk about abundant electricity. Electrical today is stupid. I'm sorry to say this. My father had an electrical car and I couldn't talk him out of it. Like, electric is just stupid right now because how we make our electricity. You know, at the power plant, you can do a lot of filtration that's difficult at the car's tailpipe. So my dad's argument is, sure, I make more CO2, but at least we can capture it at the power plant someday, and we'll never capture it out of my tailpipe. And it's like, yeah, you're right, but we're not capturing it anywhere right now, so you're still making more with an electric car. When we have sustainable electricity, why not have all the cars be electric? They would be environmentally free, because electricity at that point would be environmentally free. Vegetable oil should always be reused to make diesel. But the funny thing is, there's just not that much oil. Like the total vegetable oil is about 20% of America's diesel consumption. So we could use that for our trucks and for our tractors that need diesel for the high torque. But we could never have a vehicle system that runs on vegetable oil. There's just not enough dirt to grow all the vegetables. When we get algae, that'll be a really good way to make the rest of our diesel. And imagine this entirely different future. Let's give it 100 years, but it's your job to make this happen. I've got the dream plan. Right now, you can fly in an airplane. You don't own the airplane. You just pay to get as far as you want. The airline owns all the airplanes. It's their job to make them efficient because they save money. They compete with each other. It's a free market solution. You can choose more service for more pay. They want to make more efficient for more profit. What if transportation companies like airlines had little cubicles out on the street? Imagine like a small electric car, 4-seater maybe, 4 seats facing each other. Nobody owns cars anymore. You just walk out to the street, punch in your destination, put in your credit card, and it takes you. You could all drive drunk because you're not driving, or you could sleep in your commute. If they're electric, you could use your laptop and presumably have access to Wi-Fi. Get to your destination. The company owns all the cars. They have to keep them safe because if not, the free market will punish them. Consumers don't want to pay for the company that's unsafe to drive with. We need a very small number of these vehicles because if you think about it, less than 10% of America's cars are actually driving at any given time. The other 90-odd% are parked. So we need less parking and less cars. If we have a smaller number that are being kept on the move, it's much safer. There's no accidents because they're all controlled by computers. So when you get to the intersection, you don't waste that 20% of your energy to stop and go. You just fly past each other cross directions. Sounds sketchy, but computers are doing all kinds of decisions like that all the time.